Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Bondcast. Today is episode 5, and thank you very much for tuning in and listening to this newest episode. And I gotta say, today is gonna be a good one. We have a good one today. I have 3 new guests. Actually, 2 new guests, but I have 3 guests in total. 2 of them are new. One of them is a returning guest back from episode 1. Yeah, we have 2 new guests, that being my friend Nicholas from Florida and my friend Big Man Gerald. And the returning guest again is DJ Pentium. So here we go. And here are my guests. Starting off with the homie Nicholas.
Hello.
Yes, that's my dad. He's from Florida. Next, we have the homie Big Man Gerald.
Emphasis on special.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. We could have just coexisted peacefully, but nah, you just had to. Hell, man.
Okay, very epic. And next, we have another returning guest, DJ Pentium.
Yeah, I'm the co-host.
To start it off, I know that some of you haven't been on the podcast before. Nicholas, I know you haven't been on it, and Jared, you haven't been on it. So I haven't got your guys' opinions ever on the Bondcast. I know Sajin has been. He's been here before. So, to break the ice a little bit, let's just hear how you guys are doing today. And I guess we'll just start off with Nicholas. So, yeah.
I mean, not too bad, not too good. More of a neutral mood.
More of a neutral mood, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going in America, though. It's a lot of.
Oh yeah, the civil unrest is pretty fun. I got to go to sleep wondering if my house is gonna get broken into. Besides that, I've just been doing what I usually do, and that's game and complain while no one loves me.
Okay, that's pretty fair. How's school there? Is it you're in lockdown too?
Oh yeah, well, some kids they chose the option to go on campus and like actually go to physical school, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of stupid. I mean, like, come on, you can stay home, get the comfort of your house,
That's true.
do whatever you want during class. But I get why people like they want the school environment, which which not I can't relate to because I've only been at the school for about a year, which is why I'm fully online. I get to do whatever I want at home.
That's very epic. I know that's
Yes.
the same with us here. A lot of it. Well, I mean, we're in lockdown, so we have to actually stay at home and we can't go back to
You
school.
actually gotta stay out.
Yeah,
I
very
mean, I have the
unfortunate.
option to like go and like exercise and stuff, but I don't want to. I just
Okay.
exercise at home.
Dang, that's kind of crazy, dude. You can exercise. Uh,
Yeah, crazy.
so that's very cool with you, Nick. How about you, Jared?
I don't know, man. What do you want me to say?
I mean, how are you doing? Are you good? You mean
I'm
you?
pretty good. I wanted to go to Washington D.C. recently for let's call it an open house, but COVID. Alright.
This dude wanted to go to Washington D.C. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So besides that, you haven't been doing anything much. I know you're also in school with us, so you're doing it online and stuff. So
Yeah.
you haven't been doing anything productive, I guess. Besides that,
Ew,
no.
no.
So it's basically just been the same with you too, huh? Just staying at home and online school and then gaming, I guess. Because I mean, what else is there to do? Well, that's very interesting, Jared. How about you, Sajin? How are you doing?
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with you. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. The option 2 is free. I could play with the boys. Then EA decided to have the server stop working. Now we can't play.
Mm.
That happened earlier. Is it up? No, it's still not up.
That's unfortunate.
Because
EA is the worst company in existence.
No, it's Rogers. It's Rogers.
Yeah, it's Rogers.
Rogers is the worst company.
Bro, I can't wait for the EA Rogers collab where nothing works.
You have to. You know, it's amazing how EA has managed to survive this long while being so incompetent.
Damn. So
But,
you're
you know, Battlefront 2 is pretty fun.
so you're just happy because Battlefront 2 is free on Epic and everyone gets to play it now.
Yeah, I can play with the boys.
Yeah, that's
For that, you wouldn't be happy.
yeah. If it wasn't for Battlefront 2, you wouldn't be happy. Thank God for Battlefront 2. Not sponsored by EA.
Definitely not. Thank God.
Yeah, because then they're gonna force you to use Origin.
Yeah, they probably take our sponsor money.
Yeah, the sponsor money that we actually don't have.
We probably have to pay a DLC to get the sponsor money.
In today's Bondcast, we're gonna talk about video games today. Because if you didn't know this, all of us are gamers.
Yeah, we told we weren't talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
If you weren't paying attention to the last 5 minutes.
That's the joke.
So, video games. So, first I want to talk about what are your guys' favorite video games? Okay, number one, what's your favorite video game of all time? Nick, I guess we'll start with you. Yeah.
You see, here's the thing. I got like one for each genre.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then just tell me your favorite game. You know what? Let's say what's your favorite game of 2020?
My favorite game of 2020.
Yeah.
I would probably say
Mm-hmm.
it's a game that recently came out on Steam. Well, not recently. Like it was a re-release. Persona 4 Golden.
Mm-hmm. Why was that your favorite game?
Well, ever since quarantine happened, I just found myself immersed in JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it's visually appealing, but it's only 15% of what I enjoyed as a child, the original Final Fantasy. Persona 4 Golden, it's a full RPG. It's wonderfully optimized. Like, you can probably play it on an office laptop. I did when I first got the game.
Yeah.
And once you start it, you get immersed into a fictional setting that it puts you in the town of Inaba. And you see how this anime murder mystery story plays out.
That is very cool. I've never played that game.
Many elements like amazing soundtrack, combat. There's also a lot of like decisions that it forces you into, which makes you question yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably why I say I enjoyed it for 2020.
Dang. Okay, that's a really good choice. 10 out of 10 choice. I've never played that game before. But by the way you describe it, I should probably play it. But yeah, thank you.
I'm pretty sure you can get it for your PlayStation 2.
Maybe.
I think you had.
Yeah, but isn't it like really old? So like I wouldn't be able to like find it.
Oh, it's on Amazon or something, bro.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll get it on Amazon or something. But cool. What about you, Jared? What's your favorite game of 2020?
Oh no. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, though.
Oh, Hollow Knight. That's a very good game. I haven't played it, so I don't really know what it's about. So, yeah.
You're a bug.
You're a bug?
You're a bug.
It's a very good
We're
description.
not going to talk about the platforming and mix-up.
Oh yeah, it's a Metroidvania where you're a bug.
Okay.
Not going to describe what a Metroidvania.
Metroid Castlevania, Metroidvania. And you're a bug.
Yeah. That's very epic. Okay, Sajin. Now we're on to you. What do you think is your favorite game of 2020 is? If you had to give an answer. If you had to give a definitive answer, which one it would be? You don't know?
I don't know.
You just been playing a lot of games?
Wait, Yellow Gang is complete right now.
Garfield. Okay, so my favorite game would be a 10 out of 10 game that I've been playing for a very long time. It's called I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Minecraft.
Wait, what did you say?
It's Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah, you like build things.
You mine and you craft.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite.
No, that's not Fortnite. We have another guest that just randomly appeared. Challenger approaching here on the Bondcast. Miles Chua.
Guys, it's me, Miles Chua, bro.
Who lives that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the first podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You ain't know me? Yeah.
Otherwise known as that Oprah guy.
Yeah, Oprah guy.
Please don't.
So
Shut up, Oprah guy.
what's your favorite game of 2020, Miles?
Of 2020 specific, like games that came out or just in general?
I mean, just whatever you played.
Whatever I played?
Yeah.
I say Siege, but I hate that game. Yeah, maybe Titanfall. Titanfall's a good game. Said that a lot.
Why Titanfall?
Just fun. It's just fun and the movement's good. And I get tilted at Apex, or Apex is actually really good on it as well, but I just don't like Battle Royales.
What? Okay, for the people who don't know what Titanfall is, can you describe it?
Titanfall 2 is the best FPS shooter. Hold on.
He plays a cool guy who plays as a cool robot.
Yeah, he plays this guy, and it's in the future, and he plays these pilots, and they pilot these big robots. And so you run around, and you like kind of wall run and stuff, and the movement in that game is really good because you can just zoom around the place, and then you're just moving around the place, and eventually you can call in a Titan, and the Titan is like a giant robot, and it falls down from the sky because it's like Titanfall, and then you get in the robot. And then you can shoot people, and then the enemy team has robots, and it's really cool, and there's like crazy cinematic moments happen every game, and it's a good game.
Wow. The next question I want to ask is, what is the worst video game you've ever played in 2020? Okay, I'm gonna start off with Nick again. Nick, what would you say is your worst game?
The worst game.
Yeah.
You see, I'm a very easily entertained person. Like, I can usually find myself enjoying stuff, or just games in general.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna have to think about this one because I'm not sure that there's no games that I would say that I would just straight up hate.
I'll come back to you then. What about you, Jared? Is there a game that you least enjoyed in 2020?
Yo, I got two, alright?
Okay. Let's hear
Alright,
it.
so in the number two spot, Azure Lane. Worst game I've ever played, alright?
Okay.
I need to stop giving them my money.
Uh-huh.
And number one is Valorant, because Riot Games has never made a good game.
Okay.
I was on it earlier.
I agree with Jared. Valorant sucks.
Riot Games has never made a good game.
Why does Valorant suck? Because all I know is that it's a...
No, it's just by Riot Games.
It's
I just hate it. It sucks. It sucks so much. It's so it's so long. It's like a battle royale, but like worse somehow because it takes like 12 hours for you to like actually find people in the game because everybody's like sneaking around the place trying to be super sneaky, and then you get like thrown by some guy like holding an angle on a door for like the past minute. I just hate it.
Dang. So
By Riot Games.
we have two very angry Valorant players here, preaching their opinion.
I uninstalled the game.
Okay, thank you, Jared, for your top two worst games of 2020. What about?
I feel like it should be top three considering you've done like 1 game, 2 games.
Oh, okay, yeah. But that leads us on to Sajin. What are your top two worst?
Up two? I thought it was top.
I mean-
it was worst.
Yeah, sure, just your worst.
Okay, I can answer this easily. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. That game is the worst game ever.
I also agree with Sage on this one.
Rainbow Six Siege. Care to explain why?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Care to explain? It's a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, it's a good game. That's really all you need to know.
Have you ever?
Ubisoft has never made a good game.
Ubisoft, these guys are so incompetent. It's amazing how they're still in business. They can't even do a sale right. I was looking at their sale in 2020, their winter sale. It said it ended in 2019. See, these guys.
I do expect them to code a good game when they can't even count.
Yeah, they can't code a. How do you expect them to code a good game when they can't even code a proper working store page? Their live stream to give us a free copy of Watch Dogs 2, that thing wasn't even working. And then they gave it out for free on Epic. What was the point of watching the live stream?
Wow. That's I don't know what to say, man. I mean, I've never played that game before.
This video is not sponsored by Ubisoft.
Except for I played it once at Miles's house, but that's really it.
LOL.
That's basically.
Oh my god, I hate that game so much, bro. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, listen, it's like, all right, new day, I'm gonna play some Siege. You load into the game. You spawn in like Plane, right? There's a map called Plane, and it's super good because the minute that you spawn in, they can immediately shoot you. Like the defenders can immediately shoot you with your attack. It's just so great. And then once you switch sides, and your team starts doing it, and it's just a never-ending cycle of just spawn peaks. It's terrible. I hate that game.
Plane was my favorite map.
It is and it isn't.
That's crazy.
I only like it because it's a perfect representation of what Siege is. Just spawn peaks and like bullet holes.
Well, that's very interesting. Great arguments for why Siege is a really bad game. I gotta say, the worst game that I played in 2020 is gotta be this game. It's called Fortnite. I don't know if you've heard it before. You basically.
Fortnite's the best game ever.
I heard that was really good though.
No. What basically happened is
I remember Isaiah telling me that it was pretty good.
it's a battle royale game, and you just have to survive. And I don't know how to build, so
I hate Minecraft. That game sucks.
yeah, I don't really know.
I thought you played Minecraft.
Yeah, but there's a different building in Minecraft than in Fortnite. You kind of have to like.
Minecraft has cooler building.
Yeah.
Fortnite has evolved into like just like edited like I feel like people do more like building than they do actual shooting in the game, and that's like so dumb to me.
And then, like, that mentality carried over into, like, PvP Minecraft.
And also, Fortnite sucks because all the skins cost like 10 million V-Bucks, and that's it.
Oh, yeah, isn't all the good skins like $20?
Yeah, man, I want to just be Master Chief. That's exactly what I wanted to be, and yeah, that's it. So, I guess we're going back to Nick, because Nick has his video game now, so what was your answer, Nick?
Alright, so I would say, like, not worse, but dislike, actually. It's in a middle ground between there. It would probably be Street Fighter V.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, wait. Nick, explain.
Alright, so at launch, when it first came out, bare bones. There wasn't even online. All you could do is just arcade, or if you had someone to play with, you could do that. And there wasn't any characters online. As the seasons picked up, they would just keep adding characters that you could probably play as in the last game, you know, the better one, Street Fighter 4. And they took a lot of, like, things that I liked from Street Fighter 4, like there was more, like, ways to combo. There was also ultra combos, which I thought were pretty sick. Well, there were some characters I didn't like in Street Fighter 4. There was less characters in Street Fighter 5, so I'm like, okay, this feels very small as a game. I also don't like the change of art style. I really like Street Fighter 4's, like you've played it before, right, Joshua?
Yeah. I've played Street Fighter 4, so I kind of know.
How do you think it looks?
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter 4 was a really fun game, even though I really suck at it. But yeah, I think the art style is fantastic. I think the characters look great.
Yeah, it's got like this little, like sometimes when you do like focused attacks, it's like a paintbrush effect. I really like that. I also like focus attacks because you can do like combos out of that and just like, damn, I landed that. Feel proud of myself. Street Fighter 5, it's mainly just so, come on, you know you want to buy the new character. Come on. You could play them for free in Street Fighter 4. But nah. Give me money. Give me money.
Okay.
Capcom is becoming progressively more greedy instead of creating games that were actually fun and full of life.
Well,
Yeah, bro, Capcom's such a bad company. That's why this video is sponsored by Sega.
Oh yeah.
dude, that's
Yakuza Like a
crazy.
Dragon.
That's crazy.
On sale right now.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Well, I like your point. I like your point on the art style. That kind of brings into like the interesting question. Do you think that like video games can be even considered an art form? Like I know there've been like multiple arguments about, are video games pieces of art, and I guess it just comes to like pure subjectiveness, but I really want to know what your thoughts are on, do you think that video games are an art? Because I feel like that has been one of the big debates. I think a good example, a good video game to look at for this is The Last of Us, even though the second Last of Us isn't too great. But the art in Last of Us and Last of Us 2 are phenomenal. The graphics are so elegant, they're so beautiful. Even the soundtrack is really good. And I just think about Last of Us as one of like the greatest video games that I've ever played, based on not only its amazing story, which also could be considered like a type of art form, but also because of how beautiful the cinematics are and the soundtrack and everything. It's just a really good game. But yeah, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on what do you think about that? Like,
Yes.
yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because FIFA.
Okay.
What? Because you say FIFA?
Honestly, she's just a master. No. Tifa.
Okay.
Tifa Walker. It's a great game, bro. Don't you all agree that Undertale is just the best game ever?
My favorite part is going into all the fandoms.
Okay.
I think I stopped playing it after the tutorial.
Okay. So,
To answer your question seriously, I do think that some games can be considered an art form.
Would you call our books an art form? I guess it is. Right? It's writing, right?
yeah, it's like poetry.
Yeah, it's a creative piece. Okay, well, like I think
It's a creative piece, which qualifies as art.
I feel like games that try to tell a story, like I don't know, like Undertale, Final Fantasy, like any like main campaign game,
Anything that's like just distinctly unique.
like I mean, well, let's like go over saying like anything that is a story is basically an art form, and that's like every game with a campaign. That's a lot of them.
Okay, just something that just offers something distinctly unique.
Like I feel like art is just something that makes you feel something. I guess when you look at it, right?
Makes you feel something?
Yeah, man. Listen.
Art major?
If it's an expression of like the artist.
Listen. If okay, if you go to a museum and nail a banana onto a wall and call it art, bro, like Hollow Knight's art, like that's an art form.
Hey, let's go.
Art form. Like that's like
Creators' ideas.
exactly.
What do you think, Nick?
Games can be considered art forms. Like some games, they can push you into moral situations where it really shows like how you think and how strong your character really, well, you as a character really is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just coming from someone who plays lots of JRPGs.
Well, I think that your opinion is extremely valid. Did you think that games with the story mode can be considered better than games that don't?
Well, that really comes down to, well, yeah, I guess what they said, it would be subjective. Personally, I find that games with story modes, like, I would get more immersed, but if I were to play a game without a story mode, it'd usually be like something like co-op or online, something I can play with friends, and that I would enjoy.
Yeah, that's very true. Sajin, do you want to add anything more to that?
Well, as the CEO of EA said, and I'll quote him, I think gamers make the mistake of saying this is what we want, when in reality they don't. Linear games, single player games, nobody wants that. That's why five battle royales, FIFA 20, FIFA 19 Legacy. All right.
And that's all the time I have for today. I get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, single player games are good. Jedi Fallen Order exists, and EA published and they thought it wouldn't sell well, and then it became a sale record.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very great.
Yeah, I made them eat their words. Now they have to do good stuff with the Star Wars license. They're gonna lose it.
Well, I mean, with new games evolving, do you think that the evolution of video games has gotten better? I mean,
No.
no. What? That's really okay. You don't think it's gotten better? I mean, what do you think, Nick? What do you think?
I'd say that they take more graphics and performance over what makes games fun and give it replayability. Take Cyberpunk, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't played it, but it seems that people were more interested for the graphics and the overall performance. Now, I did hear that it wasn't just a standard GTA game. It was actually pretty fun to play. But that's a mainstream. When games are advertised, they're always like, "Oh, check out these cool graphics."
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, graphics are what pull people in. It's the visual appeal of games that people seem to be interested in. But most of the games that I usually look at, they're all for graphics and not focusing on fun gameplay. But that's just what I prefer.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know. There have been a lot of remakes too, and then people, like a lot of companies, keep making remakes just to improve the graphics, but they don't even improve like gameplay wise, which is kind of like the main component of why you play the video game, and that's really unfortunate. And they're just basically just trying to make money. But I do see your point. It's very true. What about you, Jared? What do you think?
I feel like games have evolved, in other ways. It's evolved in the way they convey their ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
So it may have maybe gotten forward in terms of graphics, to GTA. I don't know. I haven't compared that, but a lot of people say it went backwards in terms of just immersion because of how poorly the AI is done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't there that whole thing with Cyberpunk and how on base PS4s and base consoles that are pretty dated? It wasn't. There was a lot of graphical glitches.
Yeah. It seemed unfinished.
That's not only for.
Oh yeah, games are also getting less and less accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
certain things because they're getting more expensive. You need better stuff to play them.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, there's also a boom of indie developers
who focus on gameplay. Undertale, for example, it's an indie game by Toby Fox, and it's not it's not 4K graphics, 220 frames per second. No, it's pixel. It's made of pixels. Well, it is HD, but it's not demanding. It's very accessible. It's multi-platform.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's on Switch, PS4, Xbox, I think. I can't remember. PC. So there's lots of different choices to play it. I played it on PC when it was first starting out, and it does a good job of having good soundtrack, having fun game. Well, I wouldn't say game. Yeah, it did have fun gameplay because it gives you three options. You can either go pacifist, where you don't kill anyone, neutral, where you kind of kill people.
We're treated as a standard RPG.
Yeah,
turn-based RPG.
Treated as a standard RPG and just genocide.
Just the middle ground, the middle ground in two extremes.
And each route, it really shows your how your decisions are gonna affect the future.
Cool. Very cool. Sajin, do you want to add any input?
So here's where I ask the question: what games are we talking? Are we talking about games or EA games?
Yes.
My opinion, to be honest, I don't know, because if you're talking about story games, they're pretty good. If you're talking about multiplayer games, I think they're horrible. I think a lot of them are really bad because you have what? Let's compare two games. Let's compare Modern Warfare 2 and the new Black Ops Cold War, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 2, the only thing you could buy in terms of other than the actual game was a season pass, which gave you more maps. And then in Cold War, they added in. They didn't add in the season pass, which is good, I guess. They added all these little microtransactions to get you to buy skins, and you know they're gonna add loot boxes because Treyarch does that stuff.
Okay. That's your comparison between Modern Warfare 2 and Cold War.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. I like that comparison. It's good. With modern video games, what do you think really say is the negative components that stand out to you?
Transactions.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of like games like seem like just a cash grab.
Mhm.
Yeah, like FIFA.
Like FIFA.
Like yeah, they're like the AAA games that are just like, all right, you didn't actually buy. Yeah, you bought the game, but you didn't really buy the game. There's like 10 other things you need to buy if you really bought the game.
Mm-hmm. So
And then there's also just like like mobile games which like spam you with ads.
yeah.
Or it's like,
You
please pay me money.
wanna hear about a cash grab? I'll give you a cash grab. The 2015 reboot of Battlefront, that was a cash grab. You could tell it was rushed. There were only 4 maps that were actually available if you bought the game. And then you had to pay, I think, $70 for a season pass, which gave you more maps. So I guess to pay $80 for a game with only 4 multiplayer maps in a game that was only multiplayer. There was no campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to pay another $70 for a season pass. So we'd be paying like what, $150 to just experience the full game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's really bad. Nick, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but until Sajin brought it up, I agree that some games are becoming very huge cash grabs. Like, I guess, like, it's getting hard to find, like, what games are good and what games are just straight up pay to win.
Yeah. I know, especially with the market, there's a lot of new games coming out, so I mean, I guess it's what you define and what a quality game is. Again, it is somewhat subjective, but I guess that's with like everything in life, really. So,
Bad games, bro. Sports games, bro.
sports games.
Who is
Bro, what's the point?
Who is buying Madden 21 for $80 at launch? It's already dropped to like 40 on sale. It's already half off. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen it for like 35. Last year I was looking at FIFA 20, like in what, like September. It was $4.
Damn.
Yeah, I like, personally, me as a gamer, I can't get into sports games because it's this year just with updated rosters and updated graphics. Like, oh, look, a callback to how video game companies are dependent on graphics and performance.
Yeah, that's a good connection.
Like, they don't do anything to change the mechanics. It's literally the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I
with
think the only sports games I could get into are F1 and maybe FIFA if I bought one copy for $4.
NBA 2K.
Well, that's true. I mean, sports games are. I feel like the quality of sports games are not very good, especially like when they come out continuously. It feels like it's more like a cash grab, right? You know, they're not really making any effort to improve the content of the game. Because, I mean, you can't really upgrade the content, right? Like, it's basketball or soccer. It's the same game. It's like, unless the game gets updated, you know, then the actual video game won't ever get updated. So, yeah, I don't really know why they keep, pushing out these games every year when instead they could just get an update.
It's like the main reason why they'd want to like put out a game is so they keep making money off it.
Yeah, of course. That's all they want to do.
Like, most of the companies who make those games, they only care for money, not like interesting gameplay or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Well, let me say this, okay? I know that we're talking about a lot of bad games, but is there any particular game that you are interested in, like the future that's coming out soon or something?
That Ubisoft Star Wars game. Yeah, one game is supposed to be open world. It's going to be pretty good considering EA canceled all their open world Star Wars games.
Persona 5 Strike. I'm kidding.
That's
Hollow Knight sequel.
the Hollow Knight sequel. Okay,
Pretty sure it's coming out 2021.
cool.
If I were to pick like a game that I'm looking forward to,
Yeah.
it would probably be Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
I guess another Mega Man game would also be good
Oh, okay.
if Capcom doesn't make it pay to win.
Okay. Yeah. And then Sajin, you said what again?
One Ubisoft Star Wars game.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
be open world, even though Ubisoft has never made a good game in their life.
Okay, that's very interesting. Open world Star Wars game. Actually, that sounds very interesting. And I was gonna say, do you have any closing remarks? Because I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I feel like we're done.
About like the different genres of games.
Do you want to talk? You want to talk about it? Go ahead. You can talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
Alright. Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I would have to thank Sage for this. I actually like beat 'em up games now.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I've found a love for beat 'em up games is, well, I always liked Devil May Cry as a series, but I've been looking for, like, I tried different beat 'em up games and I was looking for something new. That's when you told me about the Yakuza series. Now, besides the memeing that happened during 2000, I love the mix-ups that you can do. Like, the combat always feels fresh with the new, like, fighting styles that you can use. There's Rush, Brawler, Dragon, and Beast. Beast is my favorite. It really hits home, if you know what I mean.
So is that your favorite genre that you wanted to point out, video game wise?
I wouldn't say my favorite genre, but JRPG. Like, if I were to choose my favorite, it would probably be either platforming or JRPGs. JRPGs because, like, sometimes they can tell, like, a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
And platformers because it takes, like, little or lots of skill to beat the games.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, like, patterns that you gotta memorize, and once you get the patterns down, you feel big brain.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
sick.
something in your head.
Yeah.
The Metroidvanias are my favorite. It has both, like, the grindiness of a JRPG, the skill of a platformer. So, yeah, there you go. That's my favorite
Cool.
genre.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. I think if I was supposed to say that type of genre, it's like kind of like a running gun almost. And I love running guns. My favorite running gun is like Cuphead. That's a fun game.
Metal Slug on Miniclip.
What about you, Sajin? What's your favorite genre?
I don't know, man.
Just don't have one.
Oh.
Alright, so second favorite genre is actually
Favorite genre?
Sajin's favorite genre.
Sajin's favorite genre is actually EA games. He loves them.
Yeah.
Especially playing Rey Skywalker.
What? What? What?
What? Well, if EA is Sajin's favorite genre, then I guess Jared, what is yours? What's your favorite genre?
I don't really have a favorite genre. It's more just I prefer games that are like less linear in terms of their like progression. Like you know how earlier I said like you know we were talking about Metroidvanias. I like how you know you can choose where to go.
Okay.
You know, it's not necessarily all right. You did this thing, now you have to do this thing. You know, it's all right. You did this thing. Which thing would you like to do next?
Okay.
And then the same thing goes for like Minecraft. You just do whatever you want. You Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft. Yeah, dude. Sick. Can do anything you want. What about you, Sajin? Do you want to talk about anything else at all? Or
No.
no? Okay.
No.
Well, I guess that's it. So, thank you to all my guests here. Shout out the homie Nicholas, my dad. He in Florida. Shout out the homie Big Man Gerald. Shout out Sajin DJ Pentium for coming on the Bondcast today. Talked about some interesting video game ideas. So, shout out all the gamers out there. Thank you for listening to episode 5 of the Bondcast. Yeah, that's it.
Plug my homie X Chromosomes.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, do you want to plug yourselves in? I don't know. Is that
I have no online presence.
okay? Nick, you want to plug yourself or?
I guess I agreed to start streaming. I don't know when I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, shout out Nick's YouTube channel. That's where he streams.
More of like a passion channel. I stream whatever I want, or whatever I'm feeling. An attempt to make some sort of conversation with viewers.
Yeah, and everyone knows Sajin from the first episode, so I mean, I don't know if he wants to plug in anything. Sajin, do you want to plug in anything?
I sold it to the EA.
Oh yeah, he sold it. Yeah, he sold his YouTube channel EA. So never mind, you can't watch Sajin's channel anymore. He's no longer an Among Us YouTuber. So unfortunate, yeah. So yeah, thank you. That's it for the episode of the Bondcast, episode 5. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to all my guests here today, and see you next time on the Bondcast.
PP.